Hey everybody, we're gonna do Klaus issue number 4 by Boom Studios, and we're gonna dive right in because we have a lot to talk about. So let's do it. So we see some again beautiful imagery, but then this is a woman here, and this is in the past, by the way, that has been frozen to death, and there is a child, and the child is still alive, and one of these men, probably from Grimswick, I presume, pick up the child because he's still alive, and they are taking him in and they are nursing him, well, basically back to health. And there are some rumors that that there was music and on the wind, there was light and voices, and that we was spared for a reason. And so the king and queen took him in, and then he is becoming a little boy, and he develops some skills that he's very good at woodcutting and he making toys, etc. And then he meets a new friend, and that is this young girl, and they becoming buddies, basically, and having spending some time together. And then we see this young boy wanted to take, well, to become, well, as you can see, he's jealous, and so we go a little bit further. So we going back to the present, well, present in this time area. So Klaus is there, and Lady Dagmar says, "If you come close, I'll pull this cord, and then the soldiers will come in and they kill you on the spot." And Klaus says, "I wanted to. I'm here to because I wanted to see if it's true." And she said, "What do you mean? What's true?" And said, "If the Lady Dagmar of Grimswick has grown cold and cruel, and that she lost touch with the people she once loved." And she says defiantly, "Well, now you've seen her. What do you think of her?" And Klaus says, "Well, if that's the case, if you are cold and heartless, you would have already pulled the cord." And that's and he sees some sadness in her. And said, and Klaus says, "People are starving and dying, Dagmar. The people you once loved and who loved you." And then she says that she hasn't been loved in years, and or a very long time, and she doesn't know who this guy is. So he says, "Reveal yourself," and he gives her a gift. And then she says, "I'm Klaus," and then she recognizes him, but then she also punches him in the face because she said, "You killed my father." So we're going back to the past, as we see young Klaus as a soldier, maybe a young captain of the Grimswick's guard, and he is handpicked by the Baron Ulrich. And this is the Baron, but the Baron is very sick. And then this guy, I believe this is Magnus in his younger years, deceives his king and says, "Hey, you need to drink this medicine, otherwise well, you're growing more and more ill." And then he drinks and he dies. Basically, he poisons him. And we see also that he is rescuing a little wolf, because they were supposed to kill the wolves or capture the wolves, and there was only one small cub left, or cup, how do you say it? And he said, and the guard says, "Hey, is there wolves left?" And he says, no, there's no sign of life. And basically he feeds the little dog and protects her. Coming back, he's being framed by Magnus that he killed the king, actually, and that is the reason why he didn't came back. That is the reason why he has been banned. And he also did not came back because Lady Dagmar chose him over over Klaus, and yeah, he didn't feel the need to come back. And then we see that he's being banished, and we see this wolf attacking him. But the wolf, well, I'm going a little bit too fast. Let me restrain myself a little bit. So he basically says, gives up. "Come on, finish me off." He has no strength anymore. But that it's the wolf that he's rescued, and she sniffs at him, and then recognizes him that, well, it's Klaus, and then she lies on top of him, basically rescuing him. So Lady Dagmar says, "But why are you here now? What is your purpose? You cannot you cannot do anything. And he says, I'm going to bring back joy and life and make Grimswick a better place, a place what it once was. And he gives her another toy. And I said, this is for your son. And then he does a Batman and he disappears into thin air. So then we see the son of Dagmar and Magnus. Basically he's basically Magnus in his younger years, spoiled, bratty, ungrateful, and he is, he's being corrupted by his father. And then he says, hey, why are you smiling about? There's something different about you, he says to his mother. I said, there is one last toy, Jonas. And then she presents him the toy. And the toy, he first plays it in a way that he is going to be the big, strong, monster that's going to squash every people in town. But then she says, well, you can also play it differently. And I said, what do you mean? So why don't you, play it with me? And then there is some kind of a dragon, and the dragon is lonely, and he wants to be his friend, and together they are strong. They are strong magical beings, and you see the change in the young boy's face. That's meaning there is another way. It's not only destruction and pain and suffering and mean things. There's also joy and light and good things in the world. And then those two being interrupted by Magnus. Who else? Magnus says to his son, it's good, Jonas, you need to come with me. I'm going to make a man out of you. And I have a plan to get Klaus and, disrupt the whole thing that he is doing. And the king is coming in 2 days. So he has a plan that needs to get in motion. And then, we'll see what happens then, right? Well, not in this comic. So there is a revolt in the mines, and the men are, I'm sick, and they want to go back to their wives and their families, and then they're getting their ass kicked by the soldiers. There's some bloody shit in there, not too much. And then they say, hey, we got the ringleader. And basically they threaten the other ones to, work harder. Otherwise, there will be severe punishment. And then this, I believe it was the captain, but it's more a sergeant. He sees what's going on. He's basically in shock what people are turning into, and he doesn't want to be a part of it. So he's going back home, and then Klaus is there. And Klaus, and he says, hey, what are you doing in my home? And he introduces himself as the one that, that he is Klaus. And he talks to the sergeant. He said, last Sergeant Carl Lindqvist, Grimsick Army veteran going back 35 years. What happened, Carl? And basically Carl admitted that when the king died, Magnus rose to power and he couldn't do anything, and he is ashamed of what has happened to the town, and that the colors red and white meant something to him, but not anymore. And then Klaus says, well, we're going to change that. I'm growing a Yuletime party, and everyone's invited. And, well, I'm not showing the last page, but this is just great. So there's a revolt coming. There's more layers here. Like I said before, Klaus is a very, very heartwarming, fun comic. And I wish they brought more of this, with that, not so much the themes, but what it all, some good guys and some really bad guys, maybe some redemption here and there. Why not? Do more of this. I like that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I see you next time. And I'm coming back soon with more videos.